Nightcall. We are going to be carrying on with our adventure in Paris, this wonderful, very dark and ephemeral setting, and a taxi driver exploring all of those mysteries of the dark streets of the capital, the French capital. So, without further ado, you probably would have heard all of the news during my last broadcast, which I just delivered. We had lots of content, in fact, some dedicated to Xbox game. I keep saying Xbox Game Pass. It's actually Xbox Game. What's it called? Xbox Game Community Club. That's right. Xbox Game Community Club. So I talked a lot about the club and all that we have laid before us, and I explained that we'll have some games featuring here on the channel, those games that are introduced by the club as Game of the Week. And I talked a lot about the news that came to us on the wires, as well as answer the questions from my community. So if you are a regular here on the channel, you'll be facing a different structure. I will be having all of that community content and all the chit chats, all the discussions within that news bulletin. News bulletin is designed to cater for the interests of our community members. So I have the news coming to me every single day from the industry. I have messages coming from various participants here on the channel, IR gaming community, as well as any other news attached to anything else. And so if you're interested, always pop in and have a look. My daily broadcast will always start with that news bulletin, and all the information will be there for you on our playback, unless you obviously watch this live. And then all the other broadcasts are dedicated to various games. This one is part of DRBMiller introducing the news slot, the news sessions that are presenting you with a selection of unknown or less well-known games for you to enjoy. Nightcall certainly has been one of the biggest, the greatest and the most enjoyable discoveries of the last year for me. Therefore it's here with us today in 2021 to get introduced to everyone here in my community. Without further ado, we'll just crack on. We don't have that much time, and we'll go through another shift. Our friend is going to be doing. He does night shifts, of course, and therefore he's getting all of that evidence that hopefully will nail the killer. You wipe your face, you're starting to feel sleepy. You're suddenly overcome by the desire to sleep. You close your eyes, press your fingers to your eyelids, and let out a yawn. You glance at your bed and get to work. We've seen all of that. We'll end the night. The phone rings. You impulsively take a step back. It's the moment of the truth. Pick up. Hello. Hi. I scold. This is the police inspector. She leaves a long sigh. There's no background noise. She must be at the station. I've got a name for you. Perfect, I'm listening. You glance at the wall, the suspects are lined up, all the evidence. A whole mess of your ideas, your stomach is a knot. I don't have to remind you, you cannot get this wrong. I have a meeting in 2 hours with the district attorney and the chief of police. Even the Minister of the Interior will be in a corner of the room somewhere. Obviously, I'm thrilled, but I certainly do not want to put too much pressure on you. You can almost hear the smirk she must be wearing. You lay the receiver down on the table. Now you have to decide. Go for pure badass. Just get this sorted. You deserve this. So let's see what have we got here. He's a policeman in Paris. Dad was also a policeman in Financial Affairs, died 2 years ago. Mom got health issues after Richardin's health scandal. First, the victim's files not part of police leak. Message on crime scene 2, you deserve this. Victim 4, responsible for in scandal never trialed. First, the victim's files part of police leak 2 years ago. Killer's height 180. So let me see what we've got with him. Richter and victim still asking for retribution. So we need to get rid of. Victim 2 stolen wallet. So we got homeless man seen around crime scene 2 and 3. As I remember, I was listening to some of the things he said, and there were some really suspicious things mentioned in there. So we'll see whether he is the one. You pick up the phone, back up, and explain your choice to Lieutenant Busset. Why hide the evidence? Your sources. She listens without saying a word. When you finish talking, she remains silent for just a second too long. You sense that she is not convinced. Listen, are you sure of what you're saying? Because between what you told me this morning and what you're saying now, something's not right. You sure this is the suspect you want to pursue? Yes. Okay, then I'll put my guys on it and find a way to make all this more presentable. You take a deep breath. She does the same. I'll call you tonight. Try to get some sleep. She pauses. No way she's going to hang up on such a positive note. No, she's probably going to, it might be your last night of freedom. She snickers and hangs up. You put the phone down. You might as well be standing in the ice-cold emptiness of outer space. You decide to go to bed, to sleep. Best way to kill time. So with a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You lie down on the open sofa bed. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, the faces, the problems. You open one eye. You had a hard night, restless. You get the impression you aged 5 years in a matter of hours. Fragments of a dream are still lingering. A strange animal, half deer, half seahorse, was trying to kiss you on the mouth. You get up and quickly to forget everything. A few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night number 7. Exit your place and see Busset leaning up against your cab. She waves at you to get in. You get in, a metallic taste creeps into your mouth. You and I had a deal. You nod painfully. The intel you gave me was not good. Clearly I should have not trusted you. Your voice suddenly sounds distant and rumbling. You're coming with me to the station and we're going to talk about what will happen next. A storm, a tempest that destroys everything in its path. Everything. Believe me, the DA is dying to meet you. What will happen next? She'll drag you to the station, blame you for everything. Everyone seems to believe anything she says. All the evidence she has is false. The next day your face is on the cover of all the newspapers. Your name is on everyone's lips. You are the killer everyone's been waiting for. You're gone. this far previously when I played the game, so it's obviously something I need to learn, because it looked like my investigation failed, therefore I was being locked up and then the game finished. So that's the way it's going to be in here by the looks of it. So let me see whether it works better. It's actually quite good that we have the opportunity to replay. What's the last one in there? Killer's Height. So that's probably what it is. Let's see. Message on crime scene: you deserve this. Richter and victim still asking for retribution. Victim 4 responsible for Richter's scandal. First 3 victims. Files spot police leaked 2 years ago. Victim to stolen wallet. Killer's Height 180. Okay, end the night. Find rings. Moment of truth. Pick up. Hello. Hi. We've gone to that already. I want to actually read this. Ask. Where are you? For a second you think she's going to tell you, but then somewhere, none of your business. A light clicking noise, the sound of a teacup on a coaster. I'm listening. What have you got for me? So I need to give it a name. Pick the phone back up and explain your choice to Lieutenant Busey. Why? You have the evidence, your sources. She listens without saying a word. When you finish talking, she remains silent for just a second too long. You sense that she is not convinced. Are you sure of what you're saying? Because between what you told me this morning and what you're saying now, something is not right. Sure this is the suspect you want to pursue? Yes. Okay then, I'll put my guys on it and find a way to make all of this more presentable. You take a deep breath, she does the same. I'll call you tonight, try to get some sleep. You open one eye, you had a hard night, you're restless. You get the impression you aged 5 years in a matter of hours. You get up quickly, and a few minutes later you're outside of your studio. Line 7. You exit your place and see Busey leaning against your cab. She waves at you to get in. You get in, a metallic taste creeps into your mouth. You and I had a deal. You nod painfully. The intel you gave me was nonsense. I should have not trusted you. Her voice suddenly sounds distant and rumbling. You're coming with me to the station. We're going to talk about what will happen next. Like a storm, a tempest that destroys anything, so it looks like we failed again. Okay. To try this, the third suspect then. It's not very good, is it? Continue. So it's the same thing, we need to go to the same discussion. I'm going to be reading it. Excuse me. I've got a name for you. Perfect, I'm listening. You go answer the all. Okay. You pick the phone back up and explain your choice to Lieutenant Busey. Why hide the evidence, your sources? She listens without saying a word. You stop talking and catch your breath. Okay. I'll buy it. Seems like a solid choice. I can fish around a bit to vet your information. She pauses. You can almost hear her nodding. I'll call you tonight. Try to get some sleep. She pauses. No way she's going to hang up on such a positive note. No, she's probably going to, maybe your last night of freedom. Just as it hangs up, you put the phone down. You might as well be standing in the bicycle emptiness of your place. You decide to go to bed, to sleep, the best way to kill time. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You slide onto the open sofa bed. Your brain's running at full speed. Your body aches and you are in pain. You can tell you need to get more sleep. You glance at your investigation board. You sigh when you think that in just a few hours it will be all over. You'll have your answers. Busey will have her arrest. Paris will be peaceful again. And what about you? What will you do? You shake your head and your mind wanders for a second. Just when you're about to fall asleep, you think you can hear a voice in the distance. 2 and 2. You jump without understanding where the voice is coming from. Outside, Paris is waking up and you fall asleep. You open one eye. You had a hard night, restless. You get the impression you aged 5 years in a matter of hours. You get up quickly, and a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. You barely gotten downstairs when you catch sight of Busey. She's leaning up against the door of your cab, eyes wide open, forehead creased. Get in. You obey, it's too early to react. She settles into the back seat, flashes a smile. Good news, you're right, or at least the DA thinks your evidence is sufficient. No emotion in her voice, she's giving you the facts, nothing more. You're going to bring Fragonard in tonight. She nods, her expression clouds over. I have trouble, she freezes. Fragonard is a mentor of mine, and half the squads you can't understand. He's an institution. He is. She stops and clears her throat. I need your help one last time. Later on tonight, we're going to get Fragonard to leave home and find a way to get him into a taxi. She pulls some kind of a pen out of her pocket that she puts in the little cubby just above the car stereo. This is a bug. You need a confession, if you feel like it, if you think you can manage. I've seen you and heard you enough to know that you have a trick or two, a gift for getting people to talk. I need someone I can trust to get close to Fragonard without making him suspicious. He's a cop. He knows how we work. No one's ever sent a taxi driver to make an arrest. He won't put up a fight. Hope he'll open up to you, but he'll confess before things fall apart. Not too far from the hospital where he goes for his treatments, there's an alleyway under construction. There won't be any civilians, just us and him. She sighs. 2 teens walk by the cab, and the intense smell of weed fills the cab. You say it doesn't budge. I know you can do it. Stick to the plan. Nothing can go wrong. What if there's a problem? Stick to the plan. There will be no problems. She lays a hand on the door handle. You pick the suspect up, drive to the meeting point, and you're free. Easy as pie. She gets out of the cab, slams the door, and walks quickly away. Oh, he's not happy. You hit the dashboard, intense pain spreads through your hand, you grab the keys in the ignition, and the motor comes on. Your night is about to begin. Your last night. Okay. Milo Reacher. I need a cab, quick. You pull up in front of the American embassy. You can't recall ever picking up a customer here. They probably have a fleet of their own, or a contract with a private company. The door opens, you take an immediate liking to the guy who gets in. You find him somehow reassuring, like a lost tourist. He babbles something in English, you have to listen hard to make out the address. Sorry, I'm just back in Paris, I've forgotten my manners. He flashes you with a sparkling smile. His voice is tinged with a slight American accent. You turn the key in the ignition. Thank you. What's your name, pal? You're surprised to hear him use the familiar too from straight off the bat. Hussein. Nice to meet you, Hussein. He stares at you intently for a moment. My name is. He nods slowly as if disheartened. If I reveal my name, I'll be left with no other choice, but I will have to kill you. He pauses. Way too long to be joking. His face darkens. It's a different man on the seat behind you. And then his face creases into a grin. Hey amigo, I'm joking. I work for the CIA, that is all. You're an undercover agent? Yeah, you could say that. Is that why your French is so good? I speak 8 other languages too. You give a low whistle. Not bad for a Yankee, hey? He bursts into laughter. No wonder I'm a spy, hey, amigo? Silence hangs in the air. Your passenger seems to be formulating his thoughts. You married, amigo? You shake your head. No. You got a girlfriend? Another. That's a brilliant. Oh, let's do that. A good-looking guy like you. All alone. What a waste. He gazes absently out of the window. Americans are like that. Laid back, yet distant. Maybe it's the booze, amigo, but I can't this woman out of here tonight. It's a woman. I'm not going to tell you where she's from. She'll just ask a ton of questions. If you ask questions, I'm gonna have to lie to you, pal, and with you, I don't want to lie. Look like you shit type. I love that French expression. Shit type. A good guy. Fair off look comes over his face. So what's the story? He clears his throat and falls into long silence as if wondering where to begin. It all started in this place in Africa. Between you and me, pal, I really like Africa. People there are more alive and serious. You just need to spend a couple of weeks there. No more than that, you'll go nuts. You clench your teeth and remain perfectly still. We're working with this minister there. Not a type like you, a traitor. Traitor. Yeah, sure. Oh, come on, pal. You're not exactly a quiet boy, are you? Your Frenchies, you're so indecent. Your language, your little habits, simply shocked with me. He stares blankly into space, wondering perhaps if he is divulging some big secret, and then continues his story. But the bitterness is crept into his voice. Anyway, the guy was getting difficult. You had two choices: either convince him to see things that way, or sabotage his car. That is what makes work in Africa so easy. Cars, I mean, every continent has its own little quirk. Getting things done without any trouble. In Africa, it's the cars, so I contacted the minister's family and met his wife. A lady, of course. She was so beautiful, amigo, such a beauty. His voice is slowed down, there was this fierceness in his eyes, in her eyes. Know what I mean? traces along the seam of the jeans. The material is heavy, almost colors. She was so beautiful. He's gone off to some faraway time and place. You pull up the address and given you a bar that keeps late night hours. You make out snatches of animated conversation behind the alluring rolling shutter. So, all at once, he snapped out of it. This bar amigo is run by Russians, dissidents from the Soviet era. The boss spent 10 years in the Gulag. Can you imagine? The Russians, these guys really know how to deal with the prisoners. That's why I would have sent that traitor Snowden. And now, it's the Russians who are protecting him. He breaks up and raps at the window. Just ask the same question. Anyway, who cares? He was a traitor. He reaches into his pocket and hands you a tip. You hesitate a moment and accept the crumpled note. As he exits the camp, he offers his parting words. Not a word about what I told you tonight, okay? His words hang ominously in the air. Not a word to anyone about this dive. He climbs out of the camp, howling with laughter. You sit there for a moment, feeling pretty dumb. You start up the cab. Really €8. Right, my friends, I think this for today on Nightcall. We managed the investigation. I've given false leads, nearly got it due to that, and I was able to provide one that appears to be fairly. Let me just see whether that's the person. I think this is him. Your next passenger is your suspect, the retired policeman. Judging by his looks, you could have easily guessed. Hospital St. Louis, please. You nod your head and start the engine. Your passenger seems to have had his mind elsewhere. Not entirely awake, subtle on his chin. You scan his skin, his movements, his attitude. He is very cold. His voice makes you jump. You nod. There are more people, or not as many as when it's cold out like this. Folks tend to stay at home when it's too cold. There might be more of them, but they make shorter trips. Makes sense. Dead silence. So talk about the weather. It's worse in summertime though. People don't take cabs as much. What they do, they go further. Obviously. You drive in silence for a second. The road goes by. You don't want to look in your side mirrors too often. You haven't seen a trace of the cops yet. Sid told you not to worry, but you know, it's funny. Just this morning I was thinking about an old case. One of my first cases actually. It was after the Messiran case. You know who Messiran is, do you not? Or am I really that old? You sense it's the right time to get him to talk. That rings a bell. Jacques Messiran, breaking and entering, kidnapping, armed robbery. He killed 2 cops in Canada, tortured a journalist, a far-right one, but still. Then in '79, after being on the run for a year and a half, the cops catch him and kill him at the Silancourt. He raises a hand. Now the cops say it wasn't self-defense, but I know for a fact they shot him like a dog. He looks straight at you. You can see the hints of an underground fire roaring deep in his eyes. Now, I certainly do not want to die like a dog, understood. He catches his breath and is clearly shaken. He ever slowly reaches into his pocket and pulls out his weapon. Where did you say ask you to take me? Oh, he's the judge. I outside world, make it in, maybe not in the right order. The door closing, the back seat empty, shape coming over to the cab, screaming, shouting, and just like that, darkness. Well, I got the negative part of the game, the bad ending, which means I got killed. So, we've come to the end of our broadcast of DRBMiller introducing today, but as you could see, this is a game of choices, and you need to make your choices carefully, because I thought if we were sticking to the truth, then we could get killed, but actually, as we were pretending to evade the facts, he killed us. But what's important is we discovered that he is the judge, and therefore we got that rare achievement, diamond achievement, right? So that's really pretty good, and we know exactly who the judge is. So it's interesting. We come almost towards the last section of the game, but I wonder whether if I engage him with another conversation, we'll get a different sort of outcome. So we'll try that tomorrow, because today we'll carry on with our adventures here more. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I'm a bit surprised that the judge popped up so early, as we still had lots of other passengers to talk to, and we'll see how the game develops when we carry on. The fact is, tomorrow we will not be carrying on with Nightcall. We'll have our Game of the Week on display here in the DRBMiller introducing, so get ready for that. And then with Nightcall we'll carry on later in the week, I think. Obviously we completed the first run. Sadly, we got the bad ending, and that is what we did not want to do. And we wanted to have a positive ending in which the judge would be apprehended and I would be living. So we'll strive towards that with another lot of questioning, investigations, and gameplay. So until then, I'll bid you all farewell, but for all of you who are interested in Battle Royale, stay with us for more adventures in Warzone, which will follow very, very shortly. See you all in about 5 minutes.